Alright, before anyone unsubscribes, this is just a quick diversion before I start reviewing Gintama episodes weekly as they come out. I don't know, why am I doing this? Why? So starting next week, I'll be reviewing Gintama episodes just like I did during the Rockyo arc. For the two viewers who are still around to watch this, I'll be talking about Frost from Dragon Ball Super and his contrast with Frieza. And spoiler alert for Dragon Ball Super, of course. So with Frost's recent elimination from the Tournament of Power and sudden erasure by the Zenos, I was left shocked. Not just because the Zenos erased an individual, but because I genuinely liked Frost as a villain, and more importantly, as a contrast to Frieza. And while the possibility of him coming back is high alongside most other universes through the Super Dragon Balls, this sudden character exit got me thinking as to what purpose Frost served. Why did Toei and Toriyama create this Frieza lookalike? Was it just to capitalize on Frieza's popularity and make a second version? Likely, but business practices aside, at first glance Frost may seem like nothing but a copy-paste. Same race, same look in the final form, same voice actor, Ryusei Nakao in Japanese, and voiced by brothers Chris and Greg Ayres in English. But when you try to closely compare the two characters, they're actually quite different in several aspects. We can start with their ruling methods and their personalities. Frieza enjoys being feared. He dominates through strength and brute force. Psychological meddling comes secondary. Frieza's disdain and intentions are usually clear through his words, his actions, and his body language. And he's so strong at times that he sees certain opponents as a waste of time and lets his formidable minions do it for him. Either way, Frieza's approach is always direct, to the point, and forceful. Frost wanted to gain power via being adored. He doesn't want to be feared, but he wants to be seen as a savior so people can drop their guards around him. Frost's psychological manipulation is subtle. He's always putting on an air that he's on your side. While he's considerably strong himself, Frost would much rather manipulate things behind the scenes so he can swoop in and appear the savior. Now the way they fight and approach defeat is also different. Frieza believes in his ability and mostly fights straightforward. He doesn't have too much of a need for tricks because he believes himself stronger, and while it's true sometimes he cheats when he gets really desperate, when he got Sorbet to shoot Goku in Res F, but for the most part Frieza relies mostly on his raw power to inspire fear and loyalty, and to subjugate planets and opponents. When he suffers defeat to Goku and Trunks, he trains upon being revived, something he never thought he would do. And after he lost his rematch to Goku, he tried to better himself again for if he ever returned. So that proves without a shadow of a doubt that Frieza's biggest asset is his own strength. Frost makes up for a relative lack in strength, at least compared to the other major characters, through tricks. Mainly poison needles, and masquerading as someone benevolent so he isn't taken as seriously. When he's defeated in the Universe 6 tournament, instead of training to bridge the gap between himself and the Universe 7 fighters in the time he spends exiled, he only devised a way to get back in the good graces of Champa, and that was a promise to dismantle Universe 7. And he knows Champa wants to see Universe 7 fail. So both Frieza and Frost sought to redeem themselves in the only way they knew how. Frieza through becoming even more powerful so he can once again rule, and Frost through thinking up new plans. Their performances at the Tournament of Power is also indicative of how their methods are opposite. Frieza fought upfront and openly. He fought others straight on and even scared one into submission. And we all remember how he beat the shit out of that Yardrat just last episode. He quite simply overpowers as he always had, with the same sadistic joy. While Frost skulked around and waited for opportunities. When Krillin had his guard down after a string of eliminations, he quickly dispatched him. When Roshi had engaged in several fights and was very clearly drained for most of his energy, he attacked him. And Frost also saw the Mafuba attack and saw a way to eliminate a much stronger opponent in Vegeta. And Frost clearly attempted to long con Frieza. In typical Frost fashion, he tried to get in Frieza's good graces, praising him, calling him senpai, and openly exchanging information to seem trustworthy. But he overestimated his own ability to deceive, and he tried to play the one guy he couldn't fool. And Frieza, in a very typical Frieza fashion, eliminated Frost when he had no use for him and added insult to injury by deceiving him and eliminating him when he dropped his guard, using Frost's own methods against him. And that's another mark of Frieza's character, to get in the head of his opponents when he has a clear advantage. Even when Frieza calls Frost an amateur, Frieza probably knew that Frost could do nothing about it because of the tournament rules. And even if Frost somehow didn't get erased, he could have taken out Frost with ease. Overall, I believe Frost was actually a brilliant character, displaying that physical force is not the only type of evil that can be exuded in the Dragon Ball world. And it even gives us a glimpse at an alternate approach Frieza could have taken. Anyway, that was a quick rundown of the characters' differences. Next week I'm returning to my episode reviews of Gintama as a new season starts, so keep an eye out for those. I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.